Thanks for staying with us at STL Live. I'm Sarah Thompson, and we're learning about the Women in Science and Entrepreneurship Conference with my guest, Michelle Sabick, who I should say is the second female dean of Parks College, which is Parks College of Engineering, Aviation, and Technology at SLU. So thank you for being here. It's really an honor to have you here. And I think this is so fitting because not only are you the dean of the college, the second female dean, but you're going to be participating in the WISE conference, talking kind of along these same lines. So tell me a bit about even your role with the university, about women in STEM fields, and especially with engineering.
Sure. So first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. And I'm looking forward to serving on this panel, and I'll be available to answer questions about my career progression and sort of how I got to be in this position and challenges that I've had and opportunities along the way. So I'm a biomedical engineer by training. I came to St. Louis 3 years ago to run the Department of Biomedical Engineering at St. Louis University, and then last year was promoted to the position of dean. And one of the reasons I was attracted to the position is because it allows me to support a wider diversity of different STEM fields and students pursuing those different disciplines. So I'm able to help students who are interested in entering all of the engineering disciplines and aviation within my college. And I've always had a passion for education and using the most in-depth and innovative and engaging teaching methods that we can use. And I think those are things that really, when people experience learning STEM disciplines in those ways, the sciences and math and engineering in an engaging way, they can see what fun and challenging careers that those areas might be.
Well, before we started this interview, we were kind of talking about, do really people even understand when you say engineering? I mean, you'll meet so many times, you'll meet people who say, I'm an engineer, but you really don't necessarily know what they're doing. You think maybe they're solving problems, they're applying it, creating something to help solve a problem. But how do you explain that to people who think they might be interested in this field, not just as a student for study, but even for careers?
Sure. Well, you hit the nail on the head. What we do is solve problems. So I think about engineering as a way of innovating, of dreaming up solutions to new problems, and sometimes trying to solve problems that we don't even know exist yet. Sometimes it's with technology, sometimes it's with other things, but I'm really looking at ways to solve problems, and that's what we teach students how to do. And one of the, I guess, the biggest attractors to me to a STEM field was that most of the big problems that are facing humanity in the world will take science and technology solutions, right? So there are political things that can help some of the problems, but somebody's going to have to, have an invention that's going to solve how more people can get fresh water and how we can have sanitation and enough food to feed the world. These are all things that will have science and engineering at the root of the solutions, and so that's where making a difference and being able to impact really important things in the world, that's careers in science and engineering can do that, and that's why they're very exciting.
As it relates to the conference and sort of encouraging women to be in these fields, I mean, when you think back to when you were in school and to now, I mean, what sort of differences do you see? I mean, are there a lot more women, or is it just grown a little bit, or do you feel like a surge has happened?
That's a great question. I mean, there have been efforts to bring women into the sciences and engineering for years since I was an undergraduate. And really, the numbers have ticked up, but not in the way you might expect, given the amount of effort that's been placed in them. But it really depends on the discipline. So what has changed a lot since I was in undergrad is the diversity of engineering disciplines. And so biomedical engineering was a brand new thing when I entered college, or it felt like a brand new thing. But it's all around the country now. There are hundreds of programs. And so some of those new programs, biomedical engineering, environmental engineering, some more of the interdisciplinary or newer engineering fields, have been more attractive overall to women. And so at St. Louis University, 46% of our biomedical engineering majors are women. But across the college, about 20% are women. So you can see it's localized to specific areas.
Well, I know at the conference you're going to have more time to talk, so I hate to compress this into like a very short response. But I mean, what would you say to people? I mean, and say to the audience that's going to be, as well as at the conference, about getting into this field and pursuing it, and not being sort of afraid to sort of engage in it and to excel in a STEM field?
One of the things I like to say is you don't have to be some kind of math or science whiz. If it's something, you have to be capable of using math and science as tools to solve problems, but it doesn't mean you have to be some kind of genius that nobody's really capable of attaining. Hard work and perseverance actually have been the characteristics that have helped me the most in my career. And so if you have a passion for solving problems, you want to make a difference, and you are willing to use the tools of science and engineering, then I think it's a great opportunity, not only to make a difference, which is obviously extremely important, but to have a satisfying career.
No, you make it seem so inviting. No, you just have to keep saying that every day to other people. But no, that's really great advice. That's wonderful advice. Well, you can see Michelle, see the dean I should say, Dean Sabick, at the 2017 WISE Conference. It's coming up on Friday, September 8th from 1 to 5:30 p.m. at Union Station. It's presented by Missouri Cures Education Foundation. For more information, go to MissouriCures.org to their events section and get all the details. There's more STL Live right after this. Please stay with us.